We're on.
Okay, we're on, Patrick?
We are on.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to a live show. We're doing this on Monday because we missed Friday, right, Patrick?
So we're trying to... our old day for 1 week here.
We're trying to get some of these questions answered from Facebook and also from YouTube. But before we start that, I just wanted to talk to you about business. I've been seeing a real slowdown in the business, at least in the upholstery. That's all I know of. Across the board, I've been, listening, and including myself, it's been a little slow. So we're always trying to find new ways of getting business. Now, just so happens that I have two night classes that we're starting this week, which comes at a good time, kind of to boost the shop up, to keep it fresh. It's easy to lose track, and especially when you're busy. And then you don't want to get too stale in the business. So you're always looking for ways of innovative ways of making money or doing other things. For instance, on this piece here that we're doing with Jimmy, this is a lower end sofa that we are going to have to, especially if you guys are younger in this business, you're going to have to get used to doing and trying to sell this furniture to be reupholstered and try to work with price points on it too. But the appeal on something like this to me, I was at a client's house today. We were talking about how much of a waste it is to throw something like this away. So you can appeal on that level. I mean, I think today is Earth Day, right, Patrick?
Don't ask me.
Yeah. Michaela, today's Earth Day, the 20th, 22nd? I think it is. But, we hear the talk. It's always the talk, but, do people actually walk the talk? That's, we can bring that up in sales, not that way, but appeal to people, the sense of, the environment and things like that. You really do have to be innovative. Don't lose, track of where you are. If you're busy, always be looking at the next, couple of weeks or after you're not busy. Like right now, it's a very stagnant. And I think that has a lot to do, too, with the economy. I think inflation's going up. And I think I have more people, when I'm giving estimates, they're saying, well, right now, maybe next year I can spend that money. Or right now, things are tight, things like that. I'm starting to listen. So what do? You might have to go down on your price, even though inflation is affecting you. That's I guess, the definition of inflation. I feel bad for people on a fixed income. I mean, if you're on a fixed income, what do? If you have your own business and you can find innovative ways of making more money, maybe you have to go into cleaning upholstery. Maybe you have to go into more repair work. Maybe you have to go into, refinishing. I know that Blair has done that, Patrick. He's diversified, so he seems to always be busy. Although, I think Blair was saying he was 2 weeks out and he was looking for work. Just a couple of weeks ago I read that. So it's not only in this part of the country. It seems like it's affecting. There's a little bit of a nervousness out there. So you just have to ride these times out. Think of more innovative ways of selling. You have to kind of be more of a salesman in this climate. And it's good to be diversified, like with our classes and what I'm doing right now. We know there's no direct link sometimes, Patrick, to the YouTube, to sales. People don't say. Some people do. Some people say, "I saw you on YouTube," right, Pat? Yeah. But a lot of people won't mention that, or they won't. It doesn't click where they heard us. But usually in the old days, what they said was you have to hear 3 times of business before you use them. A new customer, I'm talking about new customers. So the YouTube could be the second time somebody either heard or saw us. So do you know what I'm saying, Patrick?
Yeah.
So all of it together, it's a huge effort to get somebody to walk through the threshold of the front door. We do have brick and mortar. That's how we do most of our business, brick and mortar, to get them through the door. It takes a huge effort. And sometimes you take missteps. You want to try to get back in sync. And right now that's what I'm trying to do. I think I was a little bit out of sync with my advertising dollars, and now I'm going to start refocusing advertising into what I know worked in the past. So I'm really getting a little nervous, but we'll work through it. Is there any questions, Patrick, or anything?
No. We're all on a weird day, so
it's a weird day. No, people will be watching this later and commenting on this. I'm sure then we'll answer the questions on the next. Yeah. So why don't you get to the YouTube questions, Patrick?
First one is from Jimmy.
Jimmy.
He says, "Hey dear, get that idiot off TV. I don't want to see him."
Is that what he said?
Yeah, can you believe that?
Come on. He didn't say that, did he? What did he say?
Yeah, since it's Monday, Jimmy is not here today, but you guys can see his awesome work going on.
Yeah, he's doing a good job. It's not an easy job. We had to find ways, innovative ways, speaking of innovative ways of upholstering this, because this here, just to let people know if they're watching this, they have no way knowing, this is put in sections. The arms come off, they're bolted on, the back's bolted on, the seat. It's a nightmare to take apart because it's not intended to be taken apart. It's only intended to put together at the factory. One person will do a left arm, one person will do a right arm. You probably do 100 or 200 or 300 a day or more, and then they put it all together. And it's oftentimes they glue it when they bolt it, and it's really a nightmare. So we had to find a way of upholstering this because, with it all in whole. And the problem is that there's no, it's not like a traditional frame, so we don't have any of the pull-throughs like on the frame that we normally have in a traditional frame. So we had to find ways. So you guys might enjoy this. This is part of moving what I was talking earlier. We might have to get used to doing more of the modern things, even lower end furniture, in order just to stay in business, right? So what's the next?
So Pam Sheldon says, "This is the 1800 Civil War sofa. I love furniture like this with a history like this. Thank you for sharing."
Oh, there you go.
Thank you.
I mean, we prefer that too, Patrick. I mean, we prefer, but the fact is, the more we move along here, the less traditional furniture is going to be. It's just a process.
Yeah. So the next one, 18th century English Victorian. Louis XV style is my guess due to the curved legs.
Louis the Sixth. Yeah.
Louis XVI usually has straight legs.
Yeah.
There's Janine. Glad to get a comment from Janine.
Oh yeah, Janine.
Glad to hear from you. Hope everything's going well.
One of our original fans. She really appreciate that.
She's like 3 weeks ago. Wow, we haven't been through this in 3 weeks.
All right, let's catch up.
3 weeks ago, she said funny Q&A.
Okay, yeah, that was the one where Jimmy kind of went off the trail, and we were afraid we were going to lose our monetization.
So that's why we took a break. We could give Jimmy time to cool off.
Yeah, he was very distracted. He was on his cell phone while he was on the air.
Yeah,
which is
at one point he fell asleep.
And he was talking about tumbleweeds, and then he was asleep. I think that's how he falls asleep at night. He counts tumbleweeds.
He must have been drinking that day or something.
No, Jimmy doesn't drink much.
How to fix an Eastlake. Someone says, "I'm speechless." I don't know if that's good or bad.
You know what?
He's speechless.
I don't know. I could go either way.
What gauge of staple would you use to stay put carpet to wood to make a cat tree?
Carpet to wood? He's talking about
making one of those cat things.
Yeah, when he's talking or she's talking gauge, I think she means length of staple, really. Gauge could mean width, too.
In other words, what do you use to staple a rug to?
I don't even know if my half-inch is the most I use, a half-inch. I don't even think the half-inch would do that. I guess it depends on the carpet. But you're into a different type of stapler when you're talking attaching carpet. I mean, those guys use a big staple gun to lay down carpet, right, Patrick?
Yep.
So I don't know. It's a little bit out of my expertise, I guess.
We did that for the RV, but it wasn't a thick carpet like a cat would have.
What did you use for that?
You use a staple gun, the hand one.
Oh, remember? The hand one? Oh, brother.
It worked for what we needed. It was thin enough.
Yeah, it has to be thin. When I think of those cat...
you don't want them scraping out a staple either.
No, they can get hurt with that. You got to be careful with that. But those thick carpets that they use, I know for those cat what do they call them? Cat hotels, whatever they call them.
Cat tree, I guess.
Cat tree.
Yeah.
That you need a heavier staple, a longer staple for sure. Not an upholsterer's tool. No.
So the next one, repairing a pop button. There's the next two comments from that video. So thank you very much. We had an older chair for my wife's grandfather. It wasn't nice enough for reupholstering. It was still usable. Without the button, it wasn't usable for us. Your video taught us how to fix it.
And that was with kind of like a hack, like a home hack, because I know that most people don't have a German needle in their repertoire, right, Patrick?
Well, and it's the same video. Thank you, you're the best. You saved me $1,500.
Wow,
So
see
helpful.
that?
Trefflers love my business forever. That's from an Andrea. I'm not sure if you know who that is.
I don't, but you know, it's interesting. I think YouTube. I think a lot of people go to YouTube to save money.
It's like a
sure.
Treffler's customer.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Caught in the web of upholstery, webbing 101. I hope he tells us what kind of stapler to buy and what size staples to use.
We have talked about the BEA is the best stapler out there, and we have 3 different sizes. We have 1/4 inch, 3/8, and 1/2 inch, and the most universal one being the 3/8 inch. A 1/4 inch we use for cambric mainly, for the bottom of a chair, and sometimes panels. I had to use the 1/4 inch staple the other day, Patrick, for panels that are attached to the front of an arm, so that, you know, they're cardboard. They were cardboard panels, and anything big more than 1/4 inch would have gone through the panel. So you want to try to avoid that. So 3 different sizes, and it's funny. I use 3 different size tacks, kind of old school, 3 ounce, 6 ounce, and 14s. So it's kind of mimicking that. What else?
Upholstery tip, repairing coil springs from the top. Someone says, master upholstery tip, check for injuries so you don't bleed on the product. Great stuff.
You know, it's funny when you're in a hockey game, you don't know you're bleeding. They have to tell you you're bleeding, or in the fight, you know. So you do. I was taught when you're working, but the old guys didn't care about you bleeding. They cared more that you're going to bleed on the fabric.
Right,
So you're always checking, Patrick. You're always checking the front and the back of your hands. You're always flipping your hands like this to make sure that you're not bleeding. Sometimes you just simply, with the calluses, you don't know you're bleeding, and that can ruin your day. But of course, the remedy, if you do catch it, cold water will take, you know, on a cloth. Cold water will neutralize blood very well.
Okay, so how to make double piping. Your upholstery work I like, because I'm also a sofa maker upholsterer.
Oh, that's great.
Comment there.
And I have a different way of making double piping that I think is easier. It's a 2-step. It's kind of a 3-step process. One is sewing on the back side. Very important. The second step is trimming the fabric on close to the double piping, and then flipping it. Some people try to do everything at once, which I think is really hard to do. It doesn't always work out very well. You end up with the wavy double welt. The way I do it, it's a 3-step process, and I think it's a better process, and the double piping comes out really nice.
It's from last week's show. Thank you for another invaluable and hilarious show. With seemingly zero vocational training available, you guys are extremely important to this fantastic craft. Thank you.
Well, it's interesting when you teach, you want to put people at ease, you know, and I have all different levels of, you know, people come to me that have never picked up a hammer before in their life, or they've got some really good crossover skills from, let's say, carpentry or something. That makes a good upholstery.
I don't know if that works with Jimmy. Blood seems to be boiling every time you do a project.
Well, it's not easy. It isn't easy. It isn't easy. I'm not going to say it's easy, but we try to make it, when you're teaching, you try to make people comfortable around what you're doing. You don't want to, you know, scare people and saying that they can't do anything. Anybody can do anything, really. It's just the level of how you know, how fast you are and how good you are. That comes later. But initially, it's just. I always say to people when they're hemming and hawing about taking a class, I always say, we're going to have fun. We have fun. We don't crack the whip in the class. So what's next, Patrick?
The last one here, rubberized horsehair. Can you use horsehair on a sofa cushion that you sit on?
No.
I have a sofa bed and the foam in the cushion is so uncomfortable.
Yeah, you don't want to use rubberized horsehair. The only good thing for rubberized horsehair, really, and I've seen people use it as a filler in other places, but I wouldn't recommend it. The best thing for rubberized horsehair is going over spring work, whether it be coil springs or zigzag springs. When you're going over the springs, you need burlap first. But what the rubberized horsehair does is it smooths out the hardness of the springs nicely. Nothing else does that except the rubberized horsehair. And you can get it 1/2 inch and inch. I don't like the inch. It's a little too hot to work. It's hard to cut the 1 inch. The 1/2 inch I like. I use that mostly, and then batting over that. And this is something that you're going to have to use to convincing people. maybe to go to. I have a lot of people now asking me about organic batting, like cottons and natural battings, because there's more allergies out there, I guess, to, they don't want this toxic polyurethane in their house. So that's another sales kind of angle. You can even advertise that. Your natural upholstery, we should do that, Patrick. We don't.
We had on the old side.
We should emphasize that we can provide 100% natural materials, including the fabric, in all upholsteries. Some people people like that. Is there anything else on YouTube, Patrick?
No. I think you go to the Facebook way. A lot of Facebook posts. So
we're going to go to Facebook, and I just want to thank you to. I lost it, Patrick. Going to have to get that up for me again. I thought it was there. Or is it just disappears?
No. I blame Jimmy when he's not here.
No, you can't blame Jimmy for that one.
There you go. And scroll up.
All right, so these series are from Gene, and Gene is a top contributor. And thank you, Gene, for doing it. Sometimes I don't get a chance to even like my own posts. I should. But she's been very loyal, Patrick, and that's why she's a top contributor. So she says,
have the truck keys then?
Up next is an antique Edwardian nursing chair. I'll show you that in a minute, you guys. Edwardian nursing chair. And she goes on to say, nursing chair, got it all torn down to bare wood, have some wood to replace, to have something solid to staple to. My husband will do repairs to the wood and attach the missing piece on the left. So then I'm going to be scrolling down or up, and then she's progressing here. She's just got another photo. Just moving along with the process. What do we got here? Oh, this is another post from Tracy. Tracy said, remember my sofa last year? I couldn't part with it. Here's what my friends did with it for the shower. So she had a shower and her friends did some decoration around it. I think that's cool. It's pretty good. Pretty nice looking settee. I want to read the comment. Somebody just said, wow. And that's probably what my comment would be, because it really is cool. And then we have Jean again. This is interesting. She's doing airplanes. Delivered 6 interior panels for a Cessna airplane, made 2-tone tan and black leather. Headliner fixed 1 seat, replaced the seat support, then put old covers back on. Done with the FFA certified materials. Take after pictures, finished 2 swivel. She forgot to take pictures. That's too bad. That would have been cool. Finished 2 swivel chairs, got before floral after blue. Sorry, I don't know what that means. Hand sewed the arm fronts and backs. Actually, she did an awesome job on these. And this post reached 123 people, you guys, which I think is fabulous. So there's Jean's work. She's really proficient, isn't she? So let's see what some of the comments. Dustin says, great job. And Jean says, thank you back. So now we go to the next one, the Upholstery Show Live. Somebody commented there because, Malcolm wanted to know what time Monday. I don't know if Patrick answered that, but here we are. And I'm not sure if he's on there now because Patrick stepped out of the room. And the next one is Nico. Nico, the name of her shop, at same shop, it's a shop Nico has a shop in Little 5 Points, Atlanta, wherever that is. And she reached 128 people on this one, and she's got 2 beautiful, I think she sold it. Oops, hold on a second. She's selling furniture out of her shop. She upholsters and sells. Which there's another way, you guys. I used to think that the way my model was, I didn't model my business after that. Putting things, and I do have a window. But people have been asking me lately about, is that for sale in the window? So maybe I'll revisit that. And then Nico, she has another one. This is her first project since hand surgery. The pair is available at one of the coolest shops in Atlanta. Great to advertise. She reached 112 people there. Let me read the comments. 112 people. And then Dustin says, beautiful. I just broke into 2 high-end shops in D.C. area. Congrats on your success. I guess what they mean by broke into is maybe display some of their wares. I hope. And Nico said thank you to that. Sam Noon says, how did you finish the wood? It looks smart. I like that expression. I've never heard that expressed for wood before, smart. I wonder what that, I kind of like that. And then it's called With a Bare Wood Stain in Gray, she answers. See, what I like about the forum is we share so much, you guys. And I'll just show you that gray again on that share. Isn't that nice? The next thing is, hold on a second. Tracy, she says, I picked this. Let me just show you the chair first. What a mess, huh? And she says, I picked this up from a yard sale, $20. No staples, tacks only, 2 layers of fabric. The underside is a black striped webbing, springs, cotton, horsehair, original fabric, cotton layer, green fabric. I haven't ripped the bottom dust cover off yet, so I don't see any markings. Any idea or age or style would be awesome. My expert on this would be Malcolm. And Malcolm, what do you think? Let's show you another view. It looks like a cat got a hold of this. Cats are our best friends. And she's showing the bottom side. That's an old cambric that was used. Cambric originally was a fine material from the Victorians. Used to wear it as a kind of I don't want to say it, some type of chest protector, a cambric. Actually, it was dressy. Could have been used maybe for dining, I'm not sure, but it was a very fine material, cambric. And then I don't know how it got from the front of Victorians onto the bottom of furniture, but that's interesting. And then cambric evolved into something less than that. It's actually, some of it's called Celestra. It's not even a cotton. We do have cotton. We still have the cotton cambric though. And then 141 people. And the comments, Dustin says, that's a beautiful find. I think the black stripe rubbing you found would have been the original old school stuff from England, if I'm not mistaken. I buy and restore a lot of spring horsehair pieces, generally from the late 1800s to early 1900s. Haven't picked up one in that style yet. And Malcolm answered, nice wood. Make sure all the joints are tight before reupholstery. And then Charles answers, it's 1920s, a time when there were a lot of style revivals popular in furniture and architectural. I would have to agree with that. I would have to agree that it was probably the 1920s, which is the Roaring 20s as we called it. I was talking to somebody today about this. He was we're in New England, so I met this wonderful guy. He does recreation from this Revolutionary War. He does the old, he has the old musket. He's in costume. We just had a big celebration, the 249th. Next year's big is 250th. And so this year was a preview in the Boston area, Lexington, Concord, Sudbury, and all those, Lincoln, all these, Arlington. I can't forget, Arlington was a big monotony. The monotony fight was in Arlington as the English were coming out from Boston. They met a lot of resistance in Arlington and along the way. But so we were talking about let me get back to about the an inn in where I live, and how it doesn't seem to be as popular as it used to be. I think people have gotten away from history a little bit. But I think I always encourage next year should be a huge year for colonial history. So I'm hoping that more and more young people get interested in it. Now I blabbed a little bit too long, and now let me just go back here. I had another point to it. I think we're all done with the Facebook, and I hope that Patrick gets back here. I'm just going to go over to see if anybody's commented quickly. Hold on a second. I'm a one-man show at this point. I don't see any more comments. Patrick, can you see if there are any comments? I'm finished up with the Facebook, and I think we're almost finished.
Okay.
It's going to be a short one today.
Yeah, so we just wanted to answer your guys' questions.
Anybody?
No, I don't think. I know Malcolm was asking earlier when we were going on.
Yeah.
Respond.
Yeah.
No, they watch this later, guys, and we answered a lot of good stuff.
You know, the fact is, you guys, we'll be honest with you. You know, there's so much going on in running a business. I can tell you that. You know, we try to meet the deadlines. We try to, and we'll try. We're doing we're doing another online class.
2 more. What happened to that chair?
2 more.
I cut you off. Go ahead.
That's all right. Yeah. We're working hard. I know this is very important to me. The YouTube is very important to me. I enjoy doing them, but sometimes the time limitations, you know, are a problem. But we'll try to work through it, right, Patrick?
Oh, always going to do.
Try to be more positive.
What happened to the other chair? Do you still have those?
Which one?
Remember Jimmy was doing the class before we started this?
I can't remember, Patrick.
The dining chair, remember?
Do I still have them? Oh, yeah. We do still have them. Right. I don't know
Don't
what's
forget
going
him.
on.
You can't not complete that.
Right, right. Okay, well, that should do it, right, Patrick?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Sorry about you know, it's a little bit different without Jimmy.
No, but this was good. I think we were able to answer everything.
Yeah, you know, there's no tumbleweed talk, or you know the.
So we going live Friday though, since Jimmy's coming in anyway.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we'll do another one. If we try to get these things finished for you guys. I mean, this is a big. Well, it's not as big as you thought it was going to be. So
no, it isn't. It's not like the settee. The settee's took a lot more classes.
I thought it would take 50 classes, but we're
no,
already halfway through.
No. So we'll see you next time, you guys.
Bye, guys.